Welcome back, Pro Guides family. My name is Nathan Ng, and today I'm going to bring you guys the tips that you need to know so you can improve as fast as possible. It's so good to be back, guys. I actually just dislocated my jaw last week, and I'm still recovering from it, so please bear with me. Anyway, going back into the video, not all of these are necessarily going to be in-game tips, as there are going to be some things that occur outside the game that you guys need to be practicing. Now, before we go ahead and dive into that juicy topic, you know what time it is. It is our time for the question of the day. Today's question is, if anything, what do you do to regularly improve? Even something as simple as holding yourself to playing one game a day can help you, as we will get into later. Personally, after a bad game, I just like to take a break by watching some YouTube videos like maybe Pro Guides or just going to get some boba. Anyway, I would love to hear what you guys do in the comments down below. Now, with all of that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive into the video. Kicking things off today is probably a tip that you guys all expected, but we're going to be going into a little bit more depth about it because these are some different exercises available for you guys to be practicing. For now, let's go ahead and talk about the shooting range in Valorant and just how awesome it is. If you're going to be practicing for no more than 30 minutes a day or just practice casually, the shooting range is the perfect tool for you. With a combination of aim training with bot to shoot and then the decision making training with the spike plant and defuse scenarios, it is a very good start for your practice schedule, but it is important to understand what skill each section of the shooting range trains. Personally, for me, I just like going into the practice range before my friends get ready in the lobby because, well, just even 1 minute of practice makes a huge difference. Now, doing the shooting test will help train your flicking and your reaction time. Using the giant target helps understand weapon accuracy reset timers, how to reset weapon spray, and the difference between tap firing, burst firing, and spraying. The spike scenarios help train your game sense, crosshair placement, and general aim. Just doing different modes and practices in the shooting range for 30 minutes a day is all you need to start seeing some improvement, but if you truly want to improve fast, you're going to have to put in the work. If you are the type of person that just wants to go above and beyond with their practice and become the best of the best, fear not, as there is definitely more that you can do. Try picking up a third-party aim trainer if you feel like your aim is lacking. Kovacs is a good one, but it does cost money. 3daimtrainer.com is another good alternative. Being free is a nice plus as well. Training game sense is a little bit harder and just really requires you guys play a lot of games and pay attention to the mistakes that you guys are making. Constantly be asking yourself why you died in a certain situation, how your positioning is helping the team, your role as a specific agent, and how the enemy will react to your plans. Even if you do not know the answers to any of these questions yet, if you keep playing and pay attention to these things, you'll be able to predict the rotations and when you are in a bad situation. If you died to an enemy, try to figure out what led up to you dying. Did you peek into an angle that 3 people were watching? If so, maybe don't do that. Did you run into the site without any backup? Did you simply just get unlucky? Figuring out why you died can help you avoid making that same mistake in the future and is the first step towards improving. One of the things I've noticed that really separates a good player from an amazing player is the amount of decision making that happens from higher elo and higher ranked players. Decision making is a hard skill to practice, but we're going to be doing our best to break it down for you guys. This section of the video will also be able to help you guys get better at answering those self-reflecting questions that we talked about earlier in the video. So if that sounded interesting to you, then be sure to stay tuned. In a game like Valorant, you're constantly making decisions, whether they be split-second gunfight decisions or larger, more thought-out decisions like an execute onto a site. So how can you be sure that the decisions that you're making are the best for the given situation? Well, there are a few options available actually. If your computer can handle it, we recommend you guys download a free screen recording software, such as OBS or GeForce Experience. Then record your game while you play and then go over it later. While you're in the heat of the moment, it can be sometimes difficult to analyze vital pieces of information as they may have led you to dying or getting outplayed. By recording your games and watching them back later, you are doing what is known as a VOD review. At the time of recording this video, Riot has not yet implemented a demo replay system yet, which means that we can't just go back and watch replays that Riot has made for us. We actually have to go in and record the gameplay ourselves. By watching back a VOD, you'll most likely be in a much calmer state of mind than when you were playing the game, so you'll be able to analyze more factors about your play, and you might even catch mistakes that you make in the game without realizing that you make them. If you don't know what to look for in a VOD review, then don't fret. We've compiled some of the more common mistakes that players make and how to work on fixing them. Probably the most common mistake I see most people make in solo queue is not knowing how to play a default. A default is a tactic where the attacking side will start off a round by just contesting different areas of the map once and trying to see where the defenders are weak. This does not involve setting all 5 people on your team towards the same part of the map. The whole point of a default is to spread out and almost play like the defenders are playing. Being able to play a default is something that does rely a little bit heavily on your team also understanding what a default is, so don't worry if it isn't something that you can bring into every single match. You should try using a default if you see that you group up with your team for pushes and they never seem to work out. Another mistake I see people make all the time is calling for a rush on a site that they want everyone to be on before the round even starts. Part of what makes Valorant such a difficult game is the theory of map control. Map control is a concept of where the team controls different parts of the map and both teams try to battle to gain more and more control of the map. So when you decide every round that you just want to push A and then you guys all stack up for A for a push, you're giving up so much map control which the enemies will be smart enough to catch on to eventually, and they will start flanking you after a few rounds. The best way to tell how much map control you have as an attacker and as a defender is to constantly be checking your minimap and your team's positioning. If you are playing on Haven, for example, and you have seen that your teammate has died in Garage and you have not heard anything from there since then, it does not mean that that area is safe. Garage now probably belongs to the attackers until you send 1 or 2 people back there and try to clear it. The last thing that we're going to be talking about for decision making today is reading and making plays off your minimap that your teammates are positioning in. If you watch our video on Shroud and some of the other pro player settings, be sure to check out that video after this one if you want some awesome setting tips. Anyway, if you've seen that video, you might have remembered us saying that we recommend playing minimap vision cones turned on. This is so you don't fall into situations where you and your teammate are both watching the same angle or are both stacking up in the same area. When you are defending, whether that is because you're on the defending side or because you're in a post-plant situation, make sure that you guys are not covering the same angles. With minimap vision cones, it becomes a lot easier to check where your team is watching and if all the important angles are being covered already. If you're doing a VOD review and you routinely see that you're stuck in a post-plant situation or seem to accidentally watch the same angle as someone else, try to take a second in the matches and check what your teammate is watching and if there are any angles or pathways that you can watch instead. If there isn't, see if there's some way that you can make a post-plant situation easier. If you are Cypher, set up your trap wires around the site and maybe place your spy cam as well. If you aren't playing an agent that can stall, then you can try holding an angle with a teammate or you can even try kill hunting. Make sure that you're confident in your aim though and you have enough money saved up so it's not that big of a deal if you die and end up losing your weapon. We know that it can be pretty difficult to be on top of your decision making and we didn't cover all the things that we wanted to. If you want to help improve your decision making or just want another avenue to improve as fast as possible, then be sure to check out ProGuides.com. We have some of the best of coaches just waiting to help you guys get on top and just another pair of eyes to help you guys improve. Join today for access to on-demand coaching and to get help for the areas that you have always struggled with. Link is in the description down below, so be sure to check it out after the video is over. To round off today's video, we're going to be talking a little bit about the beliefs of having a duo partner and some things that you can do with a friend to help you guys improve. If you have a close friend that you know pretty well, then that's even better. But either way, try finding one person at least to play with a lot. If you don't have anyone to play with right now, then start playing some matches and start just talking to people. I'm sure that you guys find someone who you will hit it off with sooner or later and try to see if they're interested in training and getting better with you. Once you have found a partner, it is important to play a lot of games together. You want to get a good feeling for their playstyle, what agents they play, and what map they don't like, their weaknesses, and all that good stuff. You want to get to know how this person plays as soon as possible because then that will just make the next step a lot easier. After you guys have gotten acquainted, start trying to see what mistakes they made and in a friendly way after every match, go over the different things that you saw each other do wrong. While VOD reviews are amazing and keeping track of your own mistakes is very important, sometimes nothing beats the second pair of eyes. That isn't to say that you need to take everything your duo partner says as a fact, but it will give you a good insight onto how your playstyle affects both you and your teammates. If you two really want to improve, then recommend him or her to Pro Guides. Just kidding. Anyway, start off by working and executing specific strategies on each map that the two of you guys can pull off. Sometimes all it takes to win a game is just a little bit of coordination between some team members. So if you two are already on the same wavelength a lot, then these things are going to be a little bit easier. If you want to take it a step further, it is probably best that you guys play important agents such as Sage, Breach, Brimstone, or Cypher. So that way, if you guys want to try to pull off more perfectly coordinated plays, you can do a lot more than just getting a few kills while playing duelists. The key with a duo partner is trying to keep playing together. You can't get coordinated if you two don't play together, so make some time. Plus, in my opinion, it's way more fun to play this game with somebody. Well, anyways, that is all we have for you guys today. If you guys liked the video, be sure to drop a like and even consider subscribing if you really liked the video. If you liked the video, be sure to drop a like and maybe even consider subscribing because this video was so damn hard for me to do with my jaw. Anyway, we come out with videos like this daily, so by subscribing, you can make sure you never miss out on a video. Again, be sure to check out ProGuides.com with the link in the description down below to find an amazing coach who can just help you get to Radiant. Until next time, my friends, stay safe, stay healthy, and have a wonderful day. Peace.